Hi, I'm Barbara Toritto, advanced clinical hypnotist, Reiki master, and medical intuitive. And my business is RISE Hypnosis Center in Morristown, New Jersey. So I wanted to share an experience that I had with medical intuition and just kind of educate you on different ways that sessions can go and how somebody might be interested in having a session and why they might be interested. First of all, I do want to say to you that I am not a medical doctor. I'm not a licensed professional. I will never diagnose someone. If something comes through that is extremely serious, I will say to someone that my guides are telling me that you really need to seek medical attention immediately. And then give that person that choice on what they're going to do with their body. So anyway, I had a lovely woman come in. I immediately felt from her that there was something somewhat heavy, urgent with her. I had a sense of it being something medical. Sometimes people come in for medical reasons, and sometimes they're just curious, or sometimes they'll say, I don't know, something just doesn't feel right, and they want to see if they can find out. But anyway, this particular person's session, a female, she came in, and I always say to people, I don't want to know anything about you. I want this session to be purely intuitive. I work with my divine and sacred guides, and the information comes through them to me, and then I share it with you. So we started out by, I always like to tap into the person's energy field, that auric field that every living person, animal, plant, every living organism has an energy field around them. And so I ask permission to start there, and I look for different things in the field. Sometimes I am immediately pulled to a physical manifestation. And in this particular case, I was. And I have different clairs. I can feel, I can smell, I have a know. And in this particular one, I could feel this discomfort. It was like in the middle of my sternum and went across to my right breast, about halfway across. And I started to say to her what I was experiencing, and I started to say, I don't know if this is the bronchial passages, is this a lung, is this breast? And before I could even finish my thought, my sentence, I immediately felt strong pain very fast in a particular area in my breast. And I shared that with her, and I indicated the spot that I was feeling it. And I asked her for permission to go deeper. Can I go into the breast, take a look around? And she said yes. So I did, and I immediately saw an area about the diameter of a quarter. And it was as if the skin had been removed. I saw the fleshy tissue of the muscle and the breast ducts and, the different structures that are in the breast. And it looked healthy. It looked, the right color. And I shared that with her. And then I'm asking my guides, why are you showing me this? What is it about this area that I need to know? And then I was shown this tiny little spot that looked to me like a seed, a small seed. And so I shared that information with her. And then that little tiny seed took on a color, and the color was purple. So colors have meanings, and in this particular instance, the color of purple, one of the meanings was an obsession. And I shared that with her, and I said to her, what is coming through is that there's something or someone that you think about constantly. It's from the past. I had a sense that it was a male, and I shared that with her. She didn't seem to be aware of what I was talking about at the moment, but I said to her, this is kind of in your subconscious mind. It's like on the back burner. It's something you think about a lot and you're not aware of it. So just give it some thought. Don't worry about it now, but just later, give it some thought. I said, I have a feeling that has a lot to do with your healing. And so then we went on further. I tried to go back into the auric field again and didn't get very far. I was pulled directly to the low back, like at the waist area, right in the middle. And so I looked at her and showed her where I was now feeling pain in that area, showed her where that area was on my body. And I said to her, do you have pain in that area? And she said, yes, a lot of pain. And I immediately saw a cording, like an energy cord. And for those of you who are not in the energy fields, what that means is that another person has had a major impact in your life, and they can actually attach themselves to you by way of an energy cord. Could be a wonderful cord, or it could be a not so wonderful cord. In this particular situation, it was not a wonderful cord. So I explained what the cord looked like, and most people who know about energy cords have learned to cut your cords. I have learned not to cut your cords, because if you have a cord attached to you and the other end of that cord is attached to someone else and you cut it in the middle, you still have it in your body, your energy field. So why have something there? The way I was taught is for the client, the person, to remove that cord themselves. And so I explained to her how to do it, and I asked her to visualize it and to do what she felt was appropriate to remove every thread, every cell, every obstacle that was sticking in her low body, her low back, and to let me know when she was done. And so that cord definitely had a male presence. She knew exactly who I was talking about, and it was taken care of. So when we were done, I asked her if what I said about the breast made sense to her. And she said, absolutely. And she said that, she'd had several tests, and what showed up was, she said the doctor explained to her that she had this tiny particle like the size of a grain of sand, and this particle had a roughness to it, and that it was rubbing up and down and causing pain and some bleeding. And the low back issue was indeed this cord. And so I asked her, we were just about done, was there anything else that I had not addressed that she had hoped I would address? And she said yes. And so I said, all right, don't tell me, just think about it and let me see if I can find out what's going on. Well, in this particular case, nothing came up. I asked my guides, nothing was coming through. And so I shared that with her. It's my hope that what that was that she did eventually explain to me turns out to be nothing, because I had no sense of anything in that area that she did eventually tell me when I asked her, because the session was over. And so I hope she gets really good news about that particular area. But this is just another example of how a medical intuitive session might go. So I hope I've intrigued you a little bit. I find it fascinating. I love it. Thanks so much.